Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all the evaluators. My name is Muhammad Danish bin Rasali and my Matric number is B18CS0013. My supervisor is Dr. Zalmiah binti Zakaria. Today I shall be presenting my final year project PSM1, which is a mobile application known as ZEN Homestay, which is short for Zero Interaction Homestay. ZEN Homestay is a social homestay booking platform that people can use to find and advertise homestays. By the name Zero Interaction Homestay, the system has zero physical interaction between the homestay host and homestay guests, and this is achievable by the use of IoT technologies, which we will use an embedded system that will handle the access of the homestay. The users will use the application to access the homestay. Now, the presentation will be split into 5 parts, which are the introduction of the system, the literature review of the system, the methodology of the system, the requirement analysis and design, and the conclusion. The first part of the introduction is the problem background. The first problem is users will find it difficult in using social media as a platform to advertise their homestay. Users that primarily use social media or only use social media such as WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram to promote their homestay find it difficult to advertise their homestay because they will find it difficult to get consistent customers, as social media is not a dedicated platform to conduct their homestay business. Next, the lack of real person satisfaction that could lead to free advertisement. Most homestay applications do not display users' genuine reaction towards homestay bookings. It is done through comments, but that is optional. Person satisfaction can be used to be as an advertisement for homestay bookings. Finally, the last problem is homestay booking requires physical interaction between homestay hosts and guests. In most homestay applications, there will be a physical interaction between homestay hosts and guests, which is done through the payment if they choose to do it face-to-face, or the process of giving out and getting the keys to the homestay. In this pandemic, social interaction between a person and another person is bad in today's day because of the pandemic. Next shall be the project objective of the system. Okay, the first objective is to analyze the requirements of a homestay mobile application. This is where the project needs to be defined and documented properly, and where I found the requirements of the system. Here we identify stakeholder, and the stakeholder is known as Homestay Mersing Arif. Next is to design a social homestay booking platform that adheres to the socialization trends, such as having features like chats, posts, and stories. This will explain the user interface of the system, and the system will be created and designed to follow similar social media applications. Next is to develop a social homestay booking platform where users are able to advertise their accommodation, find accommodation to book, and can manage every booking process without any physical interaction between the homestay host and guests. Finally is to test the usability of the mobile application and provide maintenance. Now is the project aim, which is the aim of this project is to develop a social homestay platform that requires zero physical interaction between the homestay host and homestay guests for the entirety experience of the booking, and that can improve the current homestay booking platform experience. Now is the project scope of the system. The target organization and the stakeholder is Homestay Mersing Arif. Homestay Mersing Arif is single-handedly owned by an individual known as Afiq bin Abdul Rahman. The target users for the application will be the homestay hosts and homestay guests. Next is the literature review of the project. Here, I shall be explaining the analysis of current system. The current system used by the stakeholder, which is Homestay Mersing Arif, is conducted in a manual operation. The system is used by using social media, which is by using WhatsApp and Facebook advertisements. Everything, including promotion, bookings, and transactions, is handled by that person. And they will only manage the interaction between their clients through social media such as Facebook, WhatsApp, or Telegram. And they also advertise using word of mouth to people they know, such as family and friends. Since they use social media, it is hard for them to find consistent customer. Now we shall be doing the analysis of similar system, and the similar system that I have chosen are Homestay.com, Airbnb, and Booking.com. These systems are the one used by most people for homestay bookings. As we can see here, now I shall be comparing those three systems with my system in multiple aspects. The first aspect that I shall be comparing is the social aspect of all these systems, where Airbnb has minimal social aspect as it contains the process of chatting between the homestay host and guests, and also through comments. Homestay.com and Booking.com has zero social aspect. And for ZEN Homestay, it will have a high social aspect between homestay host and homestay guests. Now is the type of places that can be rented by the systems. For Airbnb, they can rent out entire place, private rooms, hotel rooms, and shared rooms. For Homestay.com, it is primarily only for homes. For Booking.com, they can rent out apartment, homes, hotel, B&B, and more alternative places. And for the proposed system, we shall allow homes, apartment, shared room, and any location suitable for homestay to be booked. The platform that is used for the systems are, for Airbnb, is by using web browser or mobile application in Android and iOS. For Homestay.com, it is primarily in web browser. For Booking.com, it is web browser and mobile application, Android and iOS. And for our proposed system, ZEN Homestay is only mobile application in Android and iOS. Now is the physical interaction aspects. For Airbnb, Homestay.com, and Booking.com, there will always be a physical interaction, which is by the users giving and getting the keys. For ZEN Homestay, there will be zero physical interaction. There is no need for a person to meet another person to perform the entire process of homestay booking. Now is the technology that I have used to create the system, which is the system is created using Flutter. Flutter is an open source versatile UI framework made by Google. The reason I use Flutter is because it is open source, which is it is free, and it is also cross-platform, which is it can be developed for both Android and iOS operating system. And it is a modern way of creating mobile application, and it is also a simple process to create the mobile application. Now is the software and hardware that I have used to develop the entire project. For the software requirement, first is the IDE that I have chosen, which is the Visual Studio Code. Next, I have used Firebase as the database, and I will use Android emulator as the emulator to test out the project. I shall be use Git Bash to perform Git repositories. I shall be using Windows 10 operating system to develop the system, and Adobe XD for my user interface. Next are the hardware requirements I have used for the project, which is a desktop to develop the system, and also an Android or iOS mobile device to test out the project. Now is the methodology part. of the project. The iter- the the model that I have chosen is the iterative model. An iterative model consists of 5 phases that focuses on user experience. Each phase has requirement analysis for user research, design, which consists of user interaction design, and evaluation during UI development. Each phase has its requirement that is important. Now is the use case diagram of the system, which can be seen here. The use case consists of 3 actors, which are the user, host, and guest. And there are 10 different use cases which belongs to different functional requirements. As we can see here, these are all the use case, which is the register use case, login, manage account, chat, manage post, manage story, manage homestay, manage booking, make payment, and manage homestay access. Here is the architectural pattern of the system, which I have chosen the model view controller. The architectural pattern of the system consists of three, which is the model, view, and controller. The model will consist of Firebase as the database access. Now is the entity relationship diagram of the system, and it consists of 7 tables in the database that are related to each other according to the needs of the table. Every table has its own relationship and multiplicity. As we can see here, there are 7 tables here that will be stored in the database, which is the user table, the chat, post, story, homestay, booking, and payment. Here is the example of user interface design of the proposed project. As we can see here, there are 2 images, which is the login page and also the homestay booking list page. I have opted to create it using a dark theme, as it is a modernized way of creating a system and designing the system, and I shall be using mainly dark gray colors as it is a good color scheme. And the system shall be developed and designed similar to have a similar feel like social media. As we can see here, it looks similar to WhatsApp, Instagram. The button, input, start, and font are consistently used throughout the mobile application, and start and pattern are very consistent. Now is the conclusion, which is what I have achieved in PSM1, which is I have performed analysis and requirements of the system, and I have obtained necessary requirements that is needed to create a functional system that meets both the functional and non-functional requirements. Next is to design the overall system, and now I have the planning for my next stage, which is the PSM2, which will be used to develop the system and to test the system. That is all from me. Thank you and have a nice day.